So, hello, my girls, and welcome back to the class. Right now, we are going to have the other part of the class about reading and the first section of our lesson of today and of our story, Black Frontiers. And in the Black Frontiers, we are going to learn more about the history of America and how America started as a country and what is the conflict that happened between the people who first came and who between the other people of the Native Americans who used to live in that place. But before we start, who can remind me what is the three things that we focus usually about in the beginning of the story?
Genre,
Genre, excellent.
question of the week,
Genre, question of the week, and what else?
the name of the author.
Excellent, the name of the author. So, Malak, if you can check in your book, what is the genre of the story that we have today?
Okay, page what, miss?
Page, just a second.
Page 88.
88. Oh, we have our rescue now, and we have Wateen. Welcome to the class, Wateen. I missed you.
I miss you too.
So, 88. Thank you so much, Wateen, for the help.
Yeah.
So, it's the page 88. And tell me, what is the genre of the story that we have today?
Expository text.
Expository text. What does it mean, expository text, without looking?
Like it's information, a real information.
Real information about?
And it's, I think, about history.
About history, excellent, because we are going to talk about history of America.
It doesn't come black, not the same story. I have the same.
It's 88.
New Jersey, right?
Show me your book. Can you show it in the camera so I can help you? No, this is the the first semester book. Give me the second term. You will find number 2 on it. 6.2. It means the second semester. Page 88.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, who's the author of the story?
Lillian.
Lillian.
Liesel. Her name is, I think, Lillian Liesel. S-C-H.
S-C-H.
L-I.
L-I.
S-S. E-L.
E-L.
Lillian.
So, Cecil. I'm sorry, Cecil. So Lillian Cecil. And then question of the week is what?
What does it mean to be a pioneer?
What does it mean to be pioneer? And to focus on this,
you wrote is instead of it.
what does it mean to be a pioneer? Okay, to answer this question or to have a glance about our story of today, we are going to see this video together that will tell us a little bit about what can we expect in our lesson.
What does it mean to be a pioneer? The early pioneers of the American West faced some incredible hardships, but their courage and resourcefulness is what fueled the expansion of the United States. When they arrived in places like Nebraska, Kansas, and South Dakota, they were met with a desolate land and harsh conditions. People who settled in the Midwest and West, called homesteaders, found that the land was sometimes difficult to farm and luxury resources like general stores were few. They also found that they were not always welcomed by American Indians whose land they were settling on. Loneliness was also a reality. Many pioneers lived far away from each other, and because they spent so much time just surviving, socializing wasn't a priority. Still, despite all the challenges, the pioneers prospered. For some, the promise of their own land for a farm and home was the incentive they needed to make their new lives work. Others found a freedom denied to them in places back east and in the southern United States. The exodus of people to the West fueled a huge expansion of U.S. territory. It wasn't always a positive move, especially for American Indians who were forced out of their native lands. But it did mean that the shape and character of the United States was forever changed. What do you think it means to be a pioneer?
Okay, this is our question of this weekend of this story. And we are going to have a glance about the history of America and how America started and how the first settlers stayed in America to have their own home and their own land. But imagine yourself that you was one of these settlers in America and you were one of the first people who came. So what does it mean to you to be a pioneer? You are one of the first people to came to America. How would it feel for you?
I would say I am an American. I am the
How would you feel?
I would feel like it would be hard because, like, they would live in. They couldn't socialize. They barely made any food and water. They have to make their own crops and make their own farms, and they sometimes they lived like a long distance from each other, so they didn't have time to go to each other. So they didn't
Socialize.
Yeah.
Excellent, Malak. This is a good idea about how the pioneers people started their life in America, because to be one of the newcomers to a new place that you don't know anybody in, and in the same time that place doesn't have the resources and the luxury of the living that you used to have, for example. Or maybe if you are living in a big city and then you change that city to go for a place that doesn't have the resources that you used to have, it's very hard. Why? Because you have to establish everything from the zero, or sometimes from sub-zero, from scratch. You have to make your own farm. You have to build your own home. You have to make your own transportation. You have to have food for yourself. How are you going to do that? There's no supermarket. There's no mall. There's nothing to buy it from. Then you have to be the one to establish that kind of food by making a farm or raising maybe
You have to depend on yourself.
pets or animals around you, and to take care of them. So how many hard work you have to do daily just to keep and to maintain your health and to be alive and to survive. It's really hard situation. So let's have a glance about that and what is the history of America was built on, and what kind of challenges people have, and also what kind of conflict they have inside that country. Because as we know, America was established on many wars. What kind of wars they have and who are the people they fought with? This is what we are going to have today. So let's go and watch the story together. Black Frontiers by Lillian. Just a minute, it's not working. Still loading.
Leaving the South. When the Civil War ended, men and women who had been slaves waited to see what freedom would bring. The land they farmed still belonged to the families who had once owned them, and because they had no money, former slaves were expected to pay back a share of their crops in exchange for seed, plows, and mules. They had to pay back a share of everything they raised for rent and food. These sharecroppers soon found they were perpetually in debt. In 1879, a Louisiana sharecropper named John Lewis Solomon, his wife, and 4 children packed their belongings and started walking toward the Mississippi River. Along the riverbank, they found other black families waiting for a chance to travel north. Some built rafts to carry them over the river's dangerous undertows and eddies. Others had money for passage, but riverboat captains would not let them on board. When a steamboat called the Grand Tower came close to shore, John Lewis Solomon called to the captain that he could pay his way. He said he had been a soldier in the Union Army. "I know my rights, and if you refuse to carry me on your boat, I will go to the United States court and sue for damages." Solomon took a great risk, but the captain agreed to let him and his family board the steamboat. Reaching Kansas, Solomon said, "This is free ground." Then I looked on the heavens, and I said, "That is free and beautiful heaven." Then I looked within my heart, and I said to myself, "I wonder why I was never free before." Black families waited on the banks of the Mississippi River for a chance to go north. Black families waited on the
Okay. This is the beginning of the story that we have today. As I told you before, America, when the newcomers of American people came to America, it was full with the Indians and with the Native Americans. And what happened is the newcomers, they pushed those people because they have a fight over their resources, as I told you. So they forced these people to leave the lands for them, and they said, this is our new home, so you have to search for a new home for you, and this is our land right now. So they have a war, and because the new beginners and newcomers to America, they have weapons, they have guns, and the Native Americans didn't have these kind of technology that time. They had only arrows, and they have only archers, and they have only traditional kind of weapons. So if they meet together, if they encounter together in a war, what will happen is the American always beat the Indian people and the Native Americans. So that's why they didn't have a chance to survive. So now who has the power? The one who has the power is the one who's going to lead America and to master America. And who are these people? The white people who came to America. Now they pushed the Native Americans away from the lands, and they took the lands as their own, and they call it what? And they call it the new land of America. They call it America. Now, the people, when America started, the people of America, they had a fight. Why? Because as you know, America is a big, big place, a big country. I will show you the map of America. This is the map of America. It's a very big country that have 50 states. 50 states. What does it mean, 50 states? It means it's state, it means it's a big land. And in this land, they have many cities inside this land. So this is a state. Just let me show you. This is a state. This is a state. This is a state. All of them, all of these colored places, they are 50 states. And all of this, we call it a country. So country is the big land we have, and we call it a country. So any person who lives inside this country, he have the nationality of being American. And this is the same of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia have states. State of Riyadh, the state of Mecca, state of Medina. And inside the state, there's cities. There's the city of, for example, state of Riyadh, it has Riyadh, Al-Kharj, Al-Mzahmiya, Al-Guwaiya. All of these are cities, small cities. And every person inside those states, his name is Saudi. Why? Because he belongs to the country of Saudi Arabia. The same is going on right here in America. So this is a country, and those are states. But to have a big country and big land like this, of 50 states, and to rule it is a very hard work. So how those people Aslan started, they came from all around the world. They found that America had Native Americans. They fought with them. They pushed them away. They forced them to go to Mexico, and they have the land for their own. Now
Mexico is not with
Mexico is not with America.
State.
No. Mexico
America.
here is a different country of Mexico, Mexique. And then there's Canada. Canada is a different country. We're talking here about America only. So now the American people, they said, this is our land and we will call it America. Now what happened? The newcomers.
There's going a war between the Native American and
No, خلاص. The Native Americans, they pushed them away and they forced them to go out of the land Aslan. They pushed them to Mexico. And they
I think that I think the Native American is going to be back, and then
No. Unfortunately, they couldn't, because as I told you, they didn't have the weapon, they didn't have the resources to fight back. So they lost their land, خلاص. They went for Mexico.
Miss, when America force them out. They give them money,
No, nothing,
gun,
nothing, nothing.
nothing.
It was a matter of power. As going the same that is going on right now in sorry. So now the people, the white people, they are living in America, and they have a lot of money and they have a lot of resources, but they have a lot of work to do also, because they have to build a country. Building a country, it means that you have to establish schools, you have to establish hospitals, you have to make a technology, lights, you have also to have electricity, you have to make facilities for people to live and to make a community. You have to make markets, you have to make also some places for people to live. So all of these things, who will do it? The amount of people who came is not that much, and at the same time they are wealthy, so they have money. And one thing about the wealthy people, they don't like to make their own work. So what they are going to do, they are going to go for Africa, and they will bring black people from Africa and ship them all over the place to go for America. So you see, they took the people here from Africa and they went for America with those people. Why they did this evil thing? They did it because they want some people to serve them. So they made these people come from Africa to America to make them what? To make them slaves. Why slaves? Because they need workers. They need people to work for them. And of course, the wealthy people will not work for each other. Duh. And we need somebody who doesn't have that much of money. And in the same time, who are strong. Who are the strongest people around the world? The Africans, of course. Why? Because they are, subhanAllah, Allah give them, yes, they are black, but in the same time, God give them a lot of advantages. These advantages including the tall, he gives them the tall, he gives them the strength. They are so much strength and they have more muscles than other people. So the white people, they have, most of them, they had this idea inside their head, which is being a white, meaning that God loves you more than other people. That's why he makes you white. This is what they had in their mind. And then they said, being any other color, black or even Chinese, they call them yellow. They don't call them white because they don't consider them as in the same rank as them. And the black people, they said, those are our slaves. Why? Because God obviously doesn't love them. Why? Because they don't have the white color that we have. Okay, this is what they thought. So they brought all of those black people from Africa and they said, you are black, you have to work for us. Now the black people, they were like people like us. They were just walking down the street and suddenly somebody attacked them and they took them and shipped them to America. And they said, now you have to work for us for free. There's no wage. They don't give them any money or wage. So they are working for free just for their food. They work from the dawn, from 5 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. in the night. They work in the farms, they work in buildings, they work in making trails. They make trails for the trains. They make wagons. They are taking care of the sheep and of the herds that they have. All of this hard work was what was done by the black people. And after all of this, they don't give them any wage or money. They just give them food. And they said, you have to make this work because you are black. Now, America has what? Has two types of those people. America was divided for two places. Places of the north, those people refused to have a slavery. They said, there's no slavery. We will not allow ourselves to take slaves. We can do our own work. And they consider the new black people who came as their brothers, which means they give them a job, they give them a work, they can have their own kids, their own family. Nobody killed them, nobody hurt them or anything. They didn't take them as slaves. But the southern people here, the south of America, they said, no, those black people are inferior to us and they are our slaves. And we brought them with our money, so they have to work with us. Now we have two different points of views. The people in the north, they like the black. The people in the South, they hate the black people and they torture them, they kill them, they hurt them, and they slave them. And whoever refused, they put him inside a bondage. Okay, now what will happen after a while? Because we have different point of views. Do you think that it will remain like this, or maybe there will be a war? What do you think? Huh?
It would be a war, maybe.
Yes, what happened that after a while, after they started to build America and they have a lot of cities, they had a war. The people in the South, they said, you are trying to stop us from making slaves. And those people, they are saying, you are being wrong for doing this. And they had a fight, which we call it civil war, al-harb al-ahliya. Why harb ahliya? Because it started between the people who used to have a country. Now they are killing each other. Okay, and the civil war remained for maybe more than 100 years. They were, no, not maybe more, I think more or less than 100 years. But eventually they had what? They had that agreement that the people, the black people, are free people and you should make them live like you. But still, the people in the South, they refuse this idea and they said no. Even after the decision that came from the government, they say no, we will keep our slaves. Nobody take them from us because they are our property. And this is the story that we have about the black people of today. That's why we call it Black Frontiers, which means the first black people who came to America. And what is the things that they have to face in that place? The hate from the people, the kill from the people, the torture from some people, the hard work that they have to do just for free. And there's no right to do that. It's not right to do that. And we will take that story from a point of view of one person in the story that we have. His name is Solomon. His name is Solomon. Solomon will tell you his journey, how it started from being a slave until he tried to go for the north to have better condition and to live in a better life, and how his journey was, and how the amount of obstacles that he faced along the way to go to the north and to his freedom. So we will see together how this horrible situation went for that person, and how he gained his freedom, and how he opened the door for other people to gain their freedom. Because the first people who made anything, they will open the door for other people to do the same for them. So it's very important to be a pioneer and to be a first in anything that you do in your life, because you will always give opportunity for others. Okay, this is the first part of the story. What do you think until now?
Good.
Is the story gonna be fun or no?
Nice, yeah.
What about the information? This is the first time you know about it?
Yeah.
That's great. Hamalak.
What will happen if if they come to if they said that you can take free land, right?
Yeah.
But what happens if the natives come and say, I want free land? What will happen? They will give them?
No, they will not give them anything. In the first place, they took the land of those people, Aslan. Now they will give it back? Of course not.
Yeah, but they put disguise. We are not natives.
What? To put the disguise and then to,
Yeah.
to ask for the land?
I want the land.
Nobody will give them that, of course, because it was a matter of power. And this is a long history happens. Always the strong countries, always they beat the weak countries. So that's why Allah in the Quran also, he asked us that we have always to be strong. وَعِدُّ لَهُمْ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ, which means that you have always to be prepared and to be strong. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Al-mu'min al-qawi khayrun min al-mu'min al-da'if," which means that you have always to be a strong person. You have always to prepare yourself to be protected and to have your own weapons, because you never know when is the time will come that you will need that strength. For those poor people, for the black people, they didn't have weapons, they didn't have anything to defend themselves. And the white people, they were the masters with anything, with everything. So that's why they ruled them. Also, the Native American, they didn't have the technology, they didn't have the weapons. So when the white people came, they conquered that area and they pushed them all away from that country and they took the land from them. So if you are strong, nobody can defeat you. But if you are weak, of course, I will take your place and I will push you away. It's the matter of life. Okay, my girls. Any
Can
other
I read
question?
my poem?
Do you have a poem? Yes, you can.
Yeah. I like sunshine, I like snow, I like brown leaves when they blow. I like cookies, I like cake, I like waffles when I wake. I like collies, I like cats, I like clowns in funny hats. I like basketball, I like trains, I like sleeping when it rains. I like stories at bedtime, I like poems when they rhyme.
Amazing poem. I love it. And if I read this poem about you, I will know all your secrets because I know what you like. Okay, my girls, thank you so much for sharing that amazing poem. And if you have anything you would like to share, always you are welcome to share it with me. Before we close, I want to show you this thing, my girls. I will give you this as a homework today. These are the words that we took in our lesson of today. We have homesteaders, we have commissioned, and other words from the lesson. I want you to practice how to write it in cursive handwriting. Okay, so I will put it for you in the website, inshallah. Try to download it and then print it and try to write your own cursive handwriting and make a picture for that. Send it back to me. Okay. Do you have a printer, my girls, in your home?
Yeah.
Okay, you can print it and send it back for me to see your handwriting. What you are going to do, my girls, like this. Let me show you. For example, this is heard, right? Just go ahead like this. Try to write on it. And then after you finish, try to imitate it, to write it right here, which means that you will try to do it several times so you can practice handwriting cursively. Okay? And this is earthen like this. Understood?
Yeah, so we write at the line and then also write at the
Write on the line and write right here alone. So you can, this one, it will make you understand how is the cursive writing, and this is will make you practice it alone. Okay? So this one and this one.
Okay, so it's the homework of today.
It will be this one, and I think there's another paper. No, there's no other paper in the book. It's only this one.
Miss, you're going to send it today in the website, right?
Yes, along with the video. Yeah?